What we do know at the end of the season, who won what and why. West Ham, Darragh, did brilliantly in that final.
Loved it, watched it,
over in Prague against Fiorentina, and won the Europa Conference League. And it was a brilliant night, brilliant occasion for everybody attached to West Ham United. But of course, at the semi-final stages, the game before that, over in Holland, it was crazy. AZ Alkmaar, and of course we know what happened when some of their ultras decided to go a bit crazy. Obviously extremely annoyed that their Dutch side had gone out at that stage. None too happy West Ham had gone through, and decided to make a move on some of the West Ham fans, and all hell broke loose. We remember Nosey, the West Ham fan, recounting the moment that some of those Alkmaar fans stormed the West Ham area.
During the course of the day, West Ham fans were coming to the fan zone, and they'd been assaulted or ambushed basically by AZ Alkmaar fans. And if you look at the videos, all their ultras, they're all dressed in black hoodies with black balaclavas. We started celebrating. I could see a hostile reaction from the Alkmaar fans. And my son-in-law, who stood right by me, looked over and said, "Oh, look, they're leaving the game." And I just said to him, "No, I don't think they're leaving the game because they're running. You know, when you're defeated and you're leaving the stands, your head's down and you're walking away." And there was a fence which was really inadequate to hold them, almost like a Harris fence, which you get on a building site. They started shaking that, and I remember, 80 or however many there were, I don't know, there were plenty of them come running down. They looked like little ants because they were all wearing their black hoodies and their black balaclavas and dressed in black, and they sort of seemed to be swarming up the stairs. And there were really 3 flights of stairs which were leading to a pocket of West Ham fans. It's just sheer amount of numbers. If you look at the pictures, there's pictures of me and other guys, and we're just mobbed. Eventually, just numbers took over, and one of the guys managed to get behind me. So as I'm sort of trying to fend off the people that are coming up the stairs in front of me, this guy's just hitting me in the side of the head, which is where I've got the black eye from, really. Surely in a modern city like Alkmaar, you can see these guys congregating because they're mob-handed. Surely we must be able to stamp this out.
He's right. They must be able to stamp it out. So what have UEFA done? They fined AZ Alkmaar 68 grand, basically. They fined 6,000 for throwing objects, 12,000, almost 13 for lighting fireworks, almost 7,000 quid for blocking public passageways, and almost £43,000 for crowd disturbances and failing to ensure that fans cannot move from one section to another. But, Alex, the bottom line is this. Should AZ Alkmaar not be facing a European ban?
Well, certainly they should be made to be playing at least one game behind closed doors. They have been given a one-match suspension, but that's been suspended for 2 years, so effectively that won't happen unless there's any more misdemeanours. It doesn't go far enough. They were very horrible scenes, and it could have been a lot worse but for the actions of people like Nosey, and actually some of the West Ham players were wading in trying to defend their family members.
That was scary seeing the players getting so upset.
It was a horrendous situation, and once again the sanctions from UEFA did not go far enough. They certainly should have to play at least one game, if not more, with no supporters inside the stadium. What message does this send out to those thugs? They've got away with it.
100%. And it's funny, a player will make a few bets, and do what he shouldn't do, and he'll end up getting banned for 3 months, 6 months, a year. You got stuff like this going on all over the place, and the powers to be see a suspended sentence is the right punishment. They're more concerned about the other thing than this thing.
Why aren't they harder on Alkmaar?
I don't know, because when I saw the West Ham players worried for their families, because that would stress you more than anything else, your children, your wives, I'd have picked the weapon up. That's my family. I said to you earlier with the Just Oil people, if that's me with a sick child in a car, I'm running people over. I'm sorry. I would. I'll do anything to protect my family. So the fact that I'm going to play football, I'm going to support my team, and they have allowed that to happen, and that's the not ban them from the competition, close their stadium for the whole season they play in Europe. That will cost them millions. Trust me, their security will be as good as anybody's the following year.
Are you saying they should do that in this instance?
Absolutely, yeah. I would take away their right to have paying fans and punish them and the fans coming in for a full European season.
That's the only deterrent.
That's the only deterrent, because if I'm the owner, then I'm like, hang on a second, chief of security in here. I want to make sure that never happens again. Like, that's not how we live. People go to a game expected to watch a game and not be assaulted, not be intimidated. And players don't want to see their families. That was horrendous to see, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
A bit like what happened to the Liverpool fans a couple of years ago. Why does this keep happening? Like, what are we doing here?
But it keeps happening, Dar, presumably because UEFA don't take stringent enough punishment.
Yeah, but the authorities like them and everyone else says if a player makes a bet or does something stupid, that's the headline. There's the ban. And it's just like, what makes more sense? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? What's more important here? People's safety or the stupidity of a player making a mistake? Like, seriously.
Having said that, you and I both know, so does Alex, players can't bet.
No,
Bottom line.
I know they can.
And deserve every
But
punishment
what
they're
I'm
going to
saying
get.
is, Jim, you've got a player.
They deserve the punishment they're going to get.
Again, Jim, get off your horse. I understand that and I don't disagree. But what I'm trying to say to you is, you got a player who loses a year of his career, is vilified, destroyed publicly, and then you've got fans, some guy who's just been getting smashed in the head.
But
Players'
that's
families.
whataboutery, isn't it?
It's not whataboutery. And UEFA have gone, yeah, well, there's a game suspended. You call it whataboutery, I call it ridiculous.
The punishments don't stack up.
Correct.
The punishment doesn't fit the crime in this case.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, we are talking in that instance. I
didn't realise you felt so strongly about gambling, Jim.
No. But the bottom line is this: we're talking about two different organisations here.
Yes,
we're talking one's UEFA, the other's FA.
Okay, you're absolutely correct. But I look at them as the powers that be everywhere. You've got your FA, you've got UEFA, you've got whatever. Are any of them any different?
How about coming in with harsh punishments for both of them?
I have no disagreement with that.
Right. Fair enough. But AZ Alkmaar on this occasion have avoided any form of a stadium ban or stadium closure. Is that right? Is that right? West Ham fans, when you reflect on that night, you might want to give us a call on that. Nosy spoke so articulately about what happened on that night. Many of you thought the worst was about to happen, and yet they're only fined barely 70 grand. Is that right? 03717 223344 81089.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.